sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.
All right, welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. You know how we do it here.
Absolutely.
We take one interesting piece of content we found out there on the web.
That's right.
And we just go deep. We see what we can learn from it. And hopefully you, the listener, can learn something too.
Absolutely.
So today we are looking at a boxing article about Jay Anderson.
Interesting.
Up-and-comer in the heavyweight division. And, he recently had his first loss.
I did hear about that, yeah.
Against a guy named, what was his name?
Martin Bakole.
Yeah, Martin Bakole. And he's already looking for a rematch.
Wow, he's not wasting any time.
Not wasting any time. And, I think that's something that's really interesting in this article.
Oh, yeah.
Is that it's really about how he's going to learn from this and come back stronger.
Yeah.
It's one thing to win all the time.
Right.
But then when you get hit with that first loss, how do you respond?
Yeah, that's really the true test.
And that's what we're diving into today.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So one of the things that the article talks about right off the bat is that Anderson was actually warned that he was moving too quickly in his career.
Interesting.
And that facing someone like Bakole, who was a very experienced fighter, was maybe a little bit too early for him.
Yeah, matchmaking in boxing is absolutely crucial, especially for a young fighter who's coming up the ranks.
Exactly.
You don't want to throw them into the deep end too soon because a loss can really derail a career, especially when you're young and you're still developing.
And they painted such a vivid picture of how confident he was before the fight.
Really?
He was dancing at the weigh-in, smiling on his way to the ring.
Oh, wow.
And then boom, first round he's on the Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, that just goes to show you that confidence is important.
Yeah.
But it can only take you so far.
Right.
You got to have the skills to back it up. And Bakole, he's got the experience. He knows how to weather the storm.
Yeah.
Stay calm and exploit those openings.
And he sent Anderson to the canvas in that first round.
That's right.
Really kind of forced him to abandon any kind of game plan that he had.
Yeah.
And fight for survival.
Right. I mean, when you get dropped like that early in a fight, it's so hard to stick to your original strategy.
Right.
You're just trying to survive,
Exactly. And Anderson even said in this article,
oh, yeah.
I learned that I'm never going to be the toughest, never going to be the strongest. I got to go in there with a good game plan and stick to it.
Wow. I mean, that's a pretty profound realization for a young fighter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's admitting that toughness alone isn't enough.
Right.
You need that strategy. You got to be able to adapt.
Yeah, and this is boxing. I mean, it's a sport where you're getting punched in the face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not just about being tough. It's about being smart.
Right.
You got to be able to think in there. You got to be able to adjust to your opponent's style.
And so recently, he actually won a fight.
He did.
But they said that he didn't look as sharp.
Oh, really?
As usual. In the article, they used the words clumsy and clunky.
Clumsy and clunky, huh?
Yeah.
So maybe he's still, working through some things.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
Could this be because of that loss to Bakole?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's a huge factor.
Yeah.
Recovering from the loss like that, it takes time.
Yeah.
It's not just physical, it's mental too.
Right.
You start doubting yourself, you start second-guessing your abilities, and that can really affect your performance.
It's got to be tough too, right? When you're undefeated.
Right.
And then you get hit with that first one.
Exactly. You build your whole identity around being this unbeatable force, and then suddenly you're not.
You're not.
And you got to figure out who you are as a fighter all over again.
And he is really eager for that rematch with Bakole.
Oh, yeah.
He's quoted in the article saying he'd be a lot smarter, a lot wiser.
That's good that he's got that mindset.
This time around?
Yeah.
But can he really close that gap?
Right.
Bakole's not just going to stand there.
Exactly. But Bakole's a seasoned veteran. He's been in there with the best.
Right.
He's not going to be intimidated by Anderson's desire for revenge.
So what do you think? I mean, if we were to see a rematch, what would Anderson need to do differently?
Well, he's got to figure out a way to neutralize Bakole's strengths.
Okay.
Bakole's got that long jab. He's good at controlling the distance.
Yeah.
So Anderson needs to find a way to get inside without getting caught.
Right.
He might need to work on his head movement, slipping those jabs, letting in close, and letting those powerful combinations go.
So more defense this time.
Yeah, he's got to tighten up that defense for sure.
Okay.
Maybe focus on counterpunching.
Okay.
Let Bakole come to him and make him miss, and then capitalize on those mistakes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance,
Right.
You don't want to be too passive, but you also don't want to be reckless.
And they said it really well in the article.
What'd they say?
They said that he needs to start using both his brain and his brawn.
Ah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's not just about being physically strong.
Yeah.
It's about having that mental toughness, that ring IQ.
So true.
Being able to think ahead, anticipate your opponent's moves.
And I think that's a lesson that goes beyond boxing.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
In any field.
In anything.
Whether it's business, sports, relationships, whatever.
Yeah.
You got to have that balance.
Right.
You can't just rely on brute force.
Right.
You got to be smart. You got to be strategic. You got to be able to adapt.
So it's really cool to see
Yeah.
someone like Jerry Anderson
Yeah.
who's facing that challenge.
Right.
And hopefully
Yeah.
he's going to come back stronger,
That's the hope.
Apply those lessons.
That's what it's all about, It's not about avoiding failure. It's about how you respond to it.
And it's like you were saying earlier, it's that classic boxing narrative.
Absolutely.
The up-and-comer hits a wall,
Right.
faces that first defeat.
And it's how they come back from it that defines their legacy.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes this rematch so compelling.
Oh, for sure.
Can he actually apply those lessons? Can he come back stronger?
Yeah.
And prove that he's learned from his mistakes?
It's going to be fascinating to see how it plays out.
Absolutely so.
Yeah.
That's our deep dive into the world of Jared Anderson.
Great deep dive.
And his quest for redemption, I guess you could say.
Absolutely.
So, think about it.
Yeah.
Think about your own life. Where have you faced setbacks?
Oh, that's a good one.
How have you responded to them? Have you been able to learn from them?
And come back stronger.
Exactly. And how could you apply that same kind of determination and that desire for growth that we see in Jared Anderson to your own personal and professional challenges?
That's a great question for everyone to consider.
Absolutely. So thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.
Sounds good.
For another deep dive into something fascinating.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till